Oh, that was President's Day. Mhm. Well, nice to see you. Oh, Monday I was distracted because of the Zoom. So then I probably. I know. Well, and then I reached out. I've been talking with the ladies in the office, and it sounds like there's actually the opportunity to do 2 different subscriptions or something. And I'm just a contractor. So like I don't, but like I'm like, okay, like this has happened repeated, and you're just now saying like, oh, maybe we should separate. Like, I'm not going to state the obvious, but
I mentioned to someone, they said they only have one Zoom on, and they thought that Stephanie
yeah.
has one of her own.
Oh,
But but wouldn't she be using it somewhere else?
I don't know. So they're, I guess, going to figure it out, but the pop-up board meeting, just grab the line.
Well, that's what it seemed
Yeah,
like, right?
yeah. That's,
That couldn't be a
yeah.
coincidence.
Right.
No, so you had COVID and you were gone a week. I think
Oh,
you
back
came
in
and I saw you after that.
January.
And I got COVID.
Oh, you did?
Right, yeah. So
Oh,
then I was talking about.
I hope I didn't give it to you. I
Anyway,
know.
my golf is late today. So my partner's right there.
So,
So we can now on Thursday when I golf is.
oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, good. Oh, good. Yeah. Because then also the time you get a little break in between, and then, yeah. Wonderful. Yeah, that's good timing. That's a good day. That sounds like a good day. Hi, how are you? Look at that. Yoga's working.
Actually, had an old yoga video when the woman says, wouldn't it be cool if yoga made you taller?
Well, I mean, I guess there's some truth to it as far as helping our spine, because if we, have the rounding effect and the spine starts to compress, I mean, I think you definitely can get shorter. There's truth in getting shorter as you get older. So then if yoga helps to counter that, to keep the spine from compressing, then maybe not make us like actually taller, but not shorter.
You can max out your tolerance.
Right.
With yoga.
Well, there's a woman who comes to my yoga classes at Love Yoga, and she's just turned 85 or about to be, and stands about 4'10", 4'11" maybe, but she definitely has had, I guess, osteo, whatever, she really is hunched over, very rounded. And doctor reports, like all indicating like this is a major problem, you're gonna have to really, I guess, take calcium. You're really nervous about breakage,
Exactly.
and hello, you're back already.
I was a little late last night.
You did. Oh, I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, I don't know if Darlene will be here. Anyway, she went for her annual, and her levels had stabilized, and the doctor was just like, that's not possible. I go to yoga 5 days a week.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. Yes. And she always gets there a little early, so she's got her own little warm-up routine. And there Margaret is doing plank, side plank.
Wow.
I mean,
Wow.
such upper body strength still. It's awesome.
Impressive.
Yeah, yeah. So it really can affect it in a positive manner. Lifeline to aging is what I call it. All right, let's see.
I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Yeah. An interesting title. Love yoga. Oh. Where is it? That's what you're asking. It's on 41.
Wonderful flyers, pottery,
Okay.
down in Norris Furniture.
Yeah.
At the Norris Furniture in our house in Driftwood is. It's down that neck of the woods. Thank you.
I'm sure we can Google it.
No, someone
We could
needs to
Google
say.
it, right?
Oh, yeah, how are you?
Yeah, I'm Nancy.
Find out where it is.
Nice to meet you.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Brand new.
Yeah, okay, all right. Well, this class is an intro into meditation as well as us doing some of the yoga poses.
Okay.
But the portion of movement, we take it very slow. My cues are pretty detailed, so if you clear the ears and then follow along and whenever you start out, usually you'll say, "Don't get distracted." Look at others, but you can certainly look at everyone's. So to just see what they're doing as far as moving into pose in a curved manner.
Okay, yeah, that sounds great.
We take our shoes off and practice barefoot.
Great, 9:30.
Here
we are.
Yay. It's always lovely when the daughter texts from school, "Can you do a gargantuous favor for me?" But then didn't put in what I
Have to do.
right. I said, "About to teach, call dad." All right,
Because they want it instantly.
instantly.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
not like sometime today, Mom, can you?
Like
Never.
picking up at school, she always calls. If I'm not there, like the second she's gotten out to the curb, I'm like,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
really? All right, so finding a comfortable seat. It was so appropriate. One of my friends who's a yogi up in New Jersey, I know I reference my friend Jillian all the time, but another yogi friend, her name is Laura Wooten. Just funny how, like, I was sort of on a path of what I was going to lead this morning, and then I see this, I was like, I'm going to shift. And I just found, I want to share what she posted. And it's just so beautiful. So I thought this would be a wonderful way to open class this morning. So close the eyes or soft gaze, but find where you can sit comfortably for a couple of minutes. Tune into your breath, following your inhales and your exhales. So she writes, self-love versus selfishness. In the fall of 2021, I was teaching yoga to a class of third grade children. At the end of a short meditation, I told them to give themselves a self-hug and say, I love myself. And a little girl immediately raised her hand and said, my brother says that if I love myself, it's selfish. I replied, there are many people who would agree with your brother, but loving yourself is not actually selfish. When we are selfish, we only think about ourselves. But loving ourselves means that we take care of ourselves And when we take care of ourselves, we have even more to give to others. Laura goes on to say, when we take care of ourselves, we also give more joyfully, because it is easier to give from a full cup than an empty one. So think for a moment, how can you fill your cup? Speak kindly to or about yourself. Make time to do activities that bring you joy. Rest when you need it. Listen to your heart. Create a loving space for yourself to feel all of your emotions in a healthy way. It's okay to give yourself a hug. Be gentle with yourself. Be patient with yourself. Always remember to treat yourself the way you want others to treat you. Unconditional love means to love without any conditions. Because everyone wants to be loved this way, why would we think it selfish to love ourselves that way? So loving yourself with any of your perceived imperfections, cultivating even more love and compassion for the world and all of the people in it. Perhaps starting with loving yourself in an unconditional way, then creates this domino effect to create a more loving world. Our yoga and meditation practice helps us to set the conditions to settle the chatter in our mind so that we're able to love ourselves wholly, to rewire the negative messages, how it's so easy to be critical of ourselves, to move into that space, to talk to ourselves in a negative way, when in fact, we would never talk to a loved one in that way. So using our breath, using our practice to release tension from the body, then allows us to create the space to bring in these more loving, more compassionate thoughts. And when we love ourselves more wholly, we show up more for others. So bring your hands, now actually bring your hands out in front of you, your arms out in front of you, extend them, and then cross the right elbow over the left. Reach your fingertips to your shoulders. Drop your chin toward your chest. And give yourself a hug. Make your inhales a little bit deeper. Make your exhales a little bit deeper. So on the inhale, you feel the breath filling up the rib cage, filling up the whole back side, the chest, and then exhaling it out. A couple more, just feeling that own self-love. On your inhale and exhale, maybe silently say the words, I love myself wholly. I love myself fully. And then release that embrace, slide the hands back to your heart center. So bringing the palms to touch, lightly touch, the tips of your thumbs resting against the heart space, and set your intention for your practice as it relates to giving yourself more self-love and self-care. what that might look like for you. And then in today's practice, we'll start and end today with meditation. This early meditation here at the start will be just short. It'll just be a minute or two of sitting in silence after we Om. So when we create this sound Om, it's a vibration. So sitting silently after making the Om sound, and if you're not comfortable to make it yourself, then just hear the sound created by the others and notice any sensations that creates for you. We'll just sit in silence after to give you that chance to feel the vibration. Bring one hand over your heart, the other hand over that hand. Take a deep inhale and sigh it out through the mouth first. Just clear out the breath. And then we'll Om 3 times. Just let the hands rest comfortably, moving into silent meditation. Begin to slowly open the eyes. Coming back to this space. Inhale, flip the arms overhead. And then exhale, twist open to the right. Take your time. So when you get about halfway, notice your sits bones still rooting down. So sitting evenly. The twist coming from our navel up, then drop the hands down. Maybe the right hand is coming behind you. Tent the fingertips. Maybe the left hand reaches the right knee. So with each inhale, think about lengthening up through the spine. On the exhale, think about moving into the twist a little deeper on the exhale. And feel the engagement in the stomach area, the abdominal area, just above your belly button. Maybe turn the head a little bit more, looking over that right shoulder. Next, inhale, float the arms up as you twist back through the middle and then over to the left. Stay rooted on the sits bones, hips facing forward, coming into the twist on the other side. Keeping that engagement in the area above the belly button. This is known as our Manipura chakra, our solar plexus. It's our power center. It's where our drive, where our self-confidence, where our self-will comes from. So to make sure that area gets some self-care, we do twists. We also do some core strengthening moves. Inhale, float the arms up, and then bring them to the knees. Might need to come off your block for this if you're on one still, so that you can then kind of rock back on your sacrum, rounding the spine, tuck your chin to your chest. And then inhale, lengthen up through the crown of the head. Open the chest up, tilt your tailbone up, and then exhale into seated cat pose, rounding the spine, tuck chin to chest. And then come to neutral, and then bring the opposite leg in front. The leg you never choose first. Inhale the arms overhead, twist open to the right. So remembering those cues, make self-adjustments. So twisting from the navel up. And perhaps there's a little bit more space being created to move into the twist a little deeper. But using our breath to help us move into the twist. Letting the pose evolve gradually, organically. Inhale, float the arms up, coming through center and then twisting to the other side. Rooting down through the sits bones, hips shining forward. Twist from the navel up. And then now imagine that area of the solar plexus has a warm, glowing light. Breathe into that light. Feel your own power center glowing. Inhale, float the arms overhead to the knees, dropping into seated cat pose. And inhale, lift the crown of the head, tilt the tailbone up, lengthen, don't you feel taller? And exhale, round the spine, chin to chest, tuck the tailbone, seated cat. One more time, lengthening up into seated cow pose. And then neutral. And we'll rock forward. Come to hands and knees, our tabletop pose. Bring your knees underneath your hips. Stack shoulders, elbows, and wrists. Spread the fingers. Keep the belly engaged. So draw the navel in as if it's moving toward the spine. Feel strong in the shoulders so that the chest isn't collapsing down, but it's hollowing out a little bit, finding a neutral spine, and then moving into our cow pose here. So a little bit more space when we're in tabletop. Lift the crown of the head, tilt the tailbone up, and then exhaling into cat. Inhale into cow pose. And exhale into cat. And then keep the rounded spine. Tuck your toes under and push your seat back to your heels. And then inhale, lifting up on your knees, float the arms overhead, palms touch. And exhale, Lower to tabletop, keep the toes tucked under. Inhale into cow pose. Exhale into cat, keep the rounded spine, push your seat to your heels. Inhale, float the arms overhead, palms touch. Exhale, hands to heart center, and then bring the tops of the feet on your mat. Extend the left leg out to the side and have the left side of your foot parallel with the wall. So this is called gate pose. Really rooting down into that left foot. Inhale, right arm up by the ear. Walk your left fingertips down the left leg as you reach through the fingertips of that right arm. So lengthening on that right side. Beautiful. Try and have that right arm in line of the ear. Instead of collapsing this way. Open. Straighten the neck. Bring this arm right down. Feel good? Stay there. That's where we're working towards. So there's a lengthening of this right side. See how open the chest stays instead of collapsing it down. And then inhale that arm back up. Take it down to the floor. Take the left arm up. So option to stay here with the left foot grounded, or maybe add a little bit of balance here. Keep the left foot flexed if you lifted it and push that heel toward the wall. So trying to keep that hip, that leg, hip lifted a little higher if you did lift it. Beautiful. And then lower back down, bring that left knee into, meet the other one, come back to tabletop. Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat, tuck your toes under, push your seat back to your heels for a child's pose, but an active child's pose. So the arms are extended. Reaching out toward the top of your mat, head between your arms. Low belly, maybe resting on the thighs. And then come up on your fingertips, tent your fingertips, lifting your wrists, and energetically pull back. Hopefully feeling a stretch in the back of the shoulders, upper back. And then inhale back to tabletop. Inhale into cow pose. Exhale into cat, tuck your toes under. Push your seat back to your heels. Inhale, float the arms overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center. So sort of a mini salutation, and then tops of the feet on the mat, extend the right leg out to the side for gate pose. So now the right edge of your foot is rooting down. Your scoot over. Alignment is here where it's a straight line down the left side. Inhale, left arm up by the ear, and then begin walking fingertips down the right leg. Try and open that left side of your chest toward the sky. Reach through the left fingertips. So you feel the whole left side lengthening up. Breathe into the ribcage. The intercostal muscles, we try and breathe life into those muscles to have that expansion. And then exhale, dropping left hand down. Right arm lifts straight up, so start here. Then maybe add lifting that right leg, flex the right foot, push through the heel. Have that right arm straight up. And lower down if it's lifted. And then come back to bringing that right knee in close. Let's move into a deeper child's pose. So knees are together. Bring your seat to your heels. Bring your arms alongside the legs, palms up, and begin to drop the crown of the head toward the floor. Beautiful. Just this rounded child's pose, creating this nurturing, safe space. And really feel the breath, especially from above the navel. And bring that warm, glowing light back into view as you feel the breath in the solar plexus area. Inhale and exhale silently, saying these affirmations. I love and accept myself exactly as I am. I am empowered and I empower others. I am gentle with myself. Next, inhale, begin rounding up to sitting on your heels. Rock forward to tabletop again, and then grab your 2 blocks. Take your blocks at the middle height and place your hands on them. So you've got an elevated tabletop. Knees are still hip distance apart. Extend your right leg behind you, toes touching the mat. And then draw that right knee into your chest and step the right foot forward in between the blocks. Tuck your left toes under, lift that left leg, finding a low lunge. Really extending, full extension in the left leg. So pushing that heel toward the windows, rooting down through the right foot, this right knee creating a 90-degree angle. One more full inhale, feel the chest lift. And then exhale, drop that left knee down, uncurl the toes, and then turn your blocks to the highest and bring them under your shoulders for Anjaneyasana. So take a moment here to feel rooted, feel balanced, feel your low back lengthening down to help support your spine in this pose. The hips drawing toward the midline. And with that balance, inhale the arms up by the ears. Make a wide V. Notice the difference in your shoulders. Keeping that distance between shoulder and ear, then maybe draw the arms closer toward the ears, but you don't have to. If the shoulders are real tight, you can keep the arms at a wide V, or maybe even try cactus arms. But you want to be tension-free in the neck. And then exhale, hands to the blocks, and then flip your right toes up. So your heel is resting on the mat and your foot is flexed. So either stay here, or maybe adding to this, you can hinge forward. This is called half split pose or half Hanumanasana in Sanskrit. Left hip in line with left knee, so we're not sitting back like this for the stretch. And we're also, if you are working toward a split, then it becomes where the heel. But we're not going there today. So just hinging from the hip, the heart moving toward that right leg. And then inhale to lift up. Rock onto the right foot, bring the blocks forward. Tuck your left toes under again, lifting to low lunge. And then adding a little twist here. So left hand stays on the block. Start lifting the right arm, opening the right chest into a twist. Try not to collapse into the left shoulder. You're reaching up through the right fingertips. Big space across the chest. And then exhale, lower that right hand down. And then push off this left foot to meet the right. Inhale, lift up halfway, finding a flat back. And then exhale into a forward fold where you're hinging forward. Let the head hang. If the hamstrings are feeling extra cantankerous, put a little bend in these, or maybe hands say on your blocks. But see if you can let the head be heavy. And then inhale, lifting up halfway again. We're going to put a little bend in the knees and this time come into low lunge from this position. So step the right leg back as far as you can. Bend the left knee to a 90-degree angle, hands on the blocks. Use the blocks. Using the blocks helps us to keep our chest lifting, and also you can really find extension in the back leg. And then we'll drop the right knee down. Coming into Anjaneyasana, bring the blocks under the shoulders. Some micro adjustments here. Press into the left foot. Press into the top of the right foot. Imagine the hips coming toward your midline. A lengthening down of your low back to support your spine in this pose. And then with that balance, arms float up by the ears, Anjaneyasana. Breathe in. Breathe out, feeling that engagement in the solar plexus area above the navel. One more full breath in. And then hands come down to the blocks. Come up on your left heel, left toes lifted. So this left foot flexed. Notice how in this upright position, our right hip is in line with right knee. And then to add to this, you can hinge forward. Continuing the breath, deep, even breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And then inhale to lift up. Rock forward on the left foot. Bring the blocks forward at the middle height to frame that left foot. Tuck your right toes under and lift that leg up. So low lunge again, and then adding our twist. Keep the right hand on your block. Inhale, lifting that left arm. Try not to dump into the right shoulder now, but reaching up through the left fingertips. Breathe, inhale, and exhale. Mary, see if you can bend that left knee a little bit more. And exhale, left hand down. Push off that right foot, step it forward to meet the left. Inhale, lifting up halfway, and exhale, fold. Bend the knees a lot and roll up to standing. Take 2 breaths to do it, making the head The last, lift your shoulders up to your ears, roll them back. Find Tadasana, mountain pose. So check in with your feet. Feel that symmetry from your feet in line with your hips. Lengthen down through the tailbone. Close the eyes for a moment. Let's bring our hands over our solar plexus. So that area of the abdomen right above the navel. Separate your fingers so you feel like the whole two hands are just wrapping around the solar plexus, and just take 3 deep inhales and exhales to feel this part of the body being breathed. Rooting down through the feet, feeling the energy come up the legs. Let the arms come down to the sides, and then inhale the arms overhead. Interlace your fingers, index fingers pointing straight up, and now bring your shoulders away from your ears. Press into your feet. Inhale to lengthen, side bend over to the right.
Right.
They're right. It's the hardest part about teaching is trying to mirror you guys. I know, I should just turn around and do it in the mirror. Try pressing into the left foot a little bit. See how that might help you to lengthen. Try to keep this arm here. And instead of side bending that way. And then inhale through center and take it over to the left, reaching those index fingers, lengthening, reaching your favorite star or planet with them. So opening that right chest as you're bending to the side, and then inhale, come through center. Exhale, dive forward into your forward fold, Uttanasana. And then bring your blocks to frame your feet. Bring them to the highest height. Lift your heels. Bring your seat down to your heels for a tiptoe squat. Try and bring your spine perpendicular with the floor. So your sits bones can rest on your heels, or for a little bit more, you can engage the thighs and lift your sits bones off your heels. If you're feeling steady and balanced, maybe hands can come to heart center. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then release if you have that engagement. Come all the way down onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock from side to side. And then lower the feet to the mat. Draw your right knee into your chest, turn your knee out to the side, and rest your right heel bone on your left thigh, and just move it off your thigh a little bit to the left. And then flex this right foot. Take your right hand, gently press the inside of that right knee away from you so you feel a little bit more of a stretch in that outer hip flexor. And then slide your right hand down where your thigh meets your hip crease. Press the base of your palm into that space. Notice the sensations for your pelvis as you do that. And then either just stay in this figure 4, or to add to this a little bit, interlace your fingers behind your left thigh, lifting that left leg up. If you're lifting, have the left calf be parallel with the floor. Flex that foot as well. Maybe draw the legs toward your chest. And breathe. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. One more inhale, and then exhale, release that left foot to the mat. Release the right foot. Heel toe your feet to the edges of your mat, and then drop your knees over to the right. So your left knee comes to the inside of that right foot. Inhale the knees through center, and then drop the knees over to the left. Inhale them to center, heel toe your feet closer. So we'll do figure 4 on the other side. Draw that left knee into your chest. Then turn it out and rest your left ankle bone on the right thigh, a little past the right thigh. So it's not directly in the middle of the thigh, but just off of it. And then left hand to inside of left knee. Keep this left foot flexed. And just opening up that outer hip flexor. And then we slide that left hand down. Base of the palm pressing into where your thigh meets your hip bone. And then if you did it on the other side, maybe interlace the fingers behind the right thigh, lifting that right leg. So right calf parallel with the floor. Maybe drawing the legs in toward your chest. Full breath in, full breath out. Remember to keep both feet flexed to help protect your knees. Feel the whole back, including your low back, pressing into the mat. And then exhale, right leg drops down, left foot drops down. Heel toe your feet as wide as your mat again. And then this time, just let your knees fall together. Bring your hands to the low belly, navel area. Take a few breaths here. And then heel toe your feet together. Reach for one of your blocks. So supported bridge pose. So make sure that your feet and your knees and your hips are aligned. And then bring your heels back toward your sits bones so that when you reach, extend your arm, see if you can graze your heel with your longest finger. Press into your feet to lift your hips up and slide the block under. I recommend the lowest. If you have if you're used to doing bridge and lifting your back a significant distance off the mat, then you could turn the block to the middle height. We'll be here for 8 breath counts. So allowing your back to meet the support of the block. The block should be supporting the bony part of that low back area. I got 4 more full inhales and exhales. Bridge pose really helps us to feel a lengthening of the stomach muscles, an opening of our chest, and an engagement of our back muscles. So it really helps to strengthen the core. So we're going to move now from the supported bridge pose to bringing our legs, extending them up to the ceiling. So a supported shoulder stand. So draw one leg up to 90 degrees, then the other. So start in 90 degrees. Make sure your back is still feeling supported by the block. Then slowly extend one leg and then the other. And the arms are away from the body about 30 degrees. And having the palms down might help you feel more supported in this pose. You could also wrap your fingers around the edge of your mat if that helps you to feel extra support. Beautiful inversions, everyone, and just really use your breath here to feel this reverse of circulation. All the weight draining from your feet down into your sits bones. If you feel any shaking, that is perfectly natural. And that means that just energy, stored, stagnant energy is being released. Just use your breath, deep, even breaths. Inversions are also wonderful to do before meditation. So 3 more full inhales and exhales. Slowly rebend the knees. Drop the feet one at a time down to the mat. Press into your feet to lift your hips. Slide the block out from under. Let the back slowly come down onto the mat. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock from side to side. So we'll finish our practice with our revolved abdomen twist. Take your arms, keep your knees hugged into your chest, but let your arms drop out to the sides and extend the arms straight out from the shoulders, palms face up. So you feel an external rotation of the shoulders. And then engage the abdominal muscles a little bit, drawing the knees in your chest, and then let the knees drop down to the left. So as they drop down, they're in line with your navel. And then the legs form a 90-degree angle. If there's any discomfort in the low back, you can place a block in between your thighs. And the gaze looks up at the ceiling, or you can turn the head to have your gaze look out over your right arm. And just like our seated twists, when we started practice, feeling this constriction in the belly, but finding a full breath so that we're wringing out toxins from our body. Try and make the breath deep and even. On your next inhale, Lift your right knee, then let your left knee float up to meet it, coming back to neutral, middle. Take a full breath in and out to reset. Draw the knees in toward your chest and then drop them down to the right. Again, trying to keep the knees in line with your navel. Use that block in between the thighs if you want to create a little bit more space for your low back. And then notice where you might be grasping or clenching, and see if you can use your breath to soften those areas of the body. Gaze can be looking up or to look out over your left arm, turning the head. Imagining how you wring out a wet towel. So this twist, we're wringing out the stored toxins in our digestive system, letting them go. Begin lifting that left knee, rolling onto your back, lifting the right leg to meet it, coming onto your back, and then give yourself a hug. So wrap your arms around your legs, lift your forehead to meet your knees. And then drop the head down. Slide one leg out onto the mat and then the other. So finding our corpse pose. Push through your heels to lengthen your legs. Let your arms rest on the side of your body, palms face up. So a guided meditation on our backs, and then we'll come up to a seat to close our practice with then a seated silent meditation. So begin to just take up space on your mat here. Gently exaggerate your next few breaths while releasing any squinting and gripping in your face, neck, shoulders. Lengthen a few more exhales to drain your body weight down into the ground. And then bring your awareness to your hands. Curl your fingers into gentle fists, no white knuckles. And then slowly, methodically unfurl your fist, one finger at a time, one breath at a time. One more time, curl your fingers into gentle fists. And start now with your right hand only. On your next exhale, let your thumb unfurl from your palm as you mentally say opening. Pause in the open space at the end of your exhale. On your next exhale, uncoil the right index finger, silently saying opening. Imagine your inhale expanding the inner shape of your index finger. Your next exhale, opening the third finger, silently chanting opening. Your inhale, imagining that finger expanding. And just continue with the fourth and fifth finger like that. And when your right fist has completely opened, sense the space inside your whole hand. And now bring your awareness to your left hand. On your next exhalation, unfold your left thumb, silently saying opening. Welcome the inhale as you sense the volume of your thumb. Exhale, uncurling the index finger of your left hand, silently saying opening. On your inhale, feel the volume of that finger. Continue your next 3 fingers. With each exhale, unfurling, with each inhale, feeling the expansion. And when your left fist has completely opened, feeling the space inside your whole hand. Soft, clear, and open. Feel the air around your hands. Feel where your skin meets the air. Imagine that your hands are porous and you can breathe through the skin of your palms. And for the next several breaths, imagine your breath flowing in through your palms, up to your heart, and then from your heart back out through your hands. Imagine this path is clear, open, and spacious, unobstructed. Pause at the end of each breath. Open hands, open mind, open moment. And now moving one hand to be over your heart and one hand over your belly. That space above the navel, your solar plexus, and feel the breath with your soft hands. Feel the space under your hands. Imagine that warm light in the solar plexus, breathing into that soft, glowing light. And silently repeat, I am gentle with myself. I am confident and capable. I love and accept myself exactly as I am. And then slowly bring one foot at a time to the mat to draw your knees into your chest. Rolling onto your right side. And take a couple breaths there on your right side. You can extend your right arm out, use it as a pillow for your head. And taking a couple breaths here to slowly, freshly re-enter the space. Pressing into your left hand to help bring you up to a seat. And keeping the eyes closed or at a soft gaze. Rooting down through your sits bones, sitting up nice and tall. If you need the blocks to support under your knees. So ending with this seated, silent meditation now. Inviting that calmness into the silence. And if at any time a thought comes into your mind, acknowledge it and come back to focusing on a single point, whether that be your breath or if it's helpful to silently say a mantra like let go or I am. In Sanskrit, I am the Soham. To close our practice, bring our hands to heart center. A gentle bow of the head toward your heart. Self-love versus selfishness. Let's choose self-love. Thank yourself for being here. I thank you for being here. The light in me sees and honors the beautiful light within you all. This auspicious week, International Women's Day was yesterday, celebrating it all week long, our divine feminine power we share with ourselves and with others. Let's seal the practice with the sound of Om. Take a full inhale, exhale it out. Namaste. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. So good. Did you want?
Woo. And thank you for joining us. Welcome.
I appreciate it.
Good. Any questions, let me know. But I'm here, I teach Monday mornings as well, and that's a gentle flow, gentle yoga class. So we move a little bit more than what you saw today, but some of the similar poses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you here year round?
No, just like a week a month right now.
Oh,
Still working, so.
Okay.
You know, just checking everything out.
Yeah. Where do you go back to?
New Jersey.
That's where I'm from.